There's a huge difference between business expense and personal expense, but here's what I've spent $5 million on without blinking. So as I mentioned in the intro of the video, is that there's a big difference between business expense and personal expense. Personal expense is after taxes. Business expense is pre-taxes, and it's completely different because when it comes to business expense, essentially all you're doing is the way I consider it is I'm lowering how much I'm paying back to the government. I'm paying less taxes. So why pay to the government? Instead, I'd rather invest it back into my business and use that to be able to make me more money. So when it comes to business, I'm all for spending more. When it comes to personal, that's a different story. You could probably ask my wife. But let's talk about business expenses and why I spend $5 million on this one thing and what you can learn from that. So first of all, I don't like waste. I hate wasting money. Even if it's like, doesn't even have to be much. If I know there's a certain tool, or maybe there's somebody in my team who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or if the tool is not being used, it doesn't matter even if it's $40 a month, I would probably spend a little bit of time to make sure that I'm not wasting that money. So waste is, I think, important, but there's some things that you spend on. So to be very cognizant, is it a spend or are you trying to save money? It's essentially the same money, but used in different ways. However, I realized that I don't have any trouble when it comes to spending money on marketing. I could spend literally tens of thousands of dollars a day on marketing without even worrying about it. But when it comes to maybe $40 for a tool, I'm like kind of trip out. So, and I realized, I'm like, why is that the case? And I realized the idea is, in the big picture, spending money on marketing makes you money. Okay? Spending money on marketing makes you money in the big picture. Is every marketing decision gonna make you money? No. But for the most part, I would say 80% of the time, it makes you money. So if that's the case, you gotta know your ROI. Usually with this marketing spend, I usually expect a minimum of 300% ROI. That means for every dollar I put in, I expect $3 back, $2 profit, at least minimum. Sometimes I've had marketing spends that got me 800 or 1,000% ROI. So I'm usually between that 300 to 800% ROI. But I realized again, in the big picture, I'm usually gonna get between those 300 and 800% ROI in my marketing spend. So even if one of those things doesn't work out, it's all good because in the big picture, marketing makes you money. Which, by the way, if I didn't explain it, that's what I spend money on. I spent $5 million of my money on marketing so far. Next is, what kind of marketing do I like spending money on? And that's been paid ads. For the most part, most of my money, I would say 95% of my marketing money goes towards paid ads. Paying those channels like Google, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, those sources for paid ads to place myself in front of my potential clients, get their attention, explain the problem that they're having, explain how I can help them, drive them to a funnel, use the funnel to be able to automatically nurture them, build a relationship with them, follow up with them, get them to schedule a call or to give me a call, and from that, I make money, okay? So paid ads is always the source of my marketing. That's what I always spend money on. That's what I have no problem spending on. The other thing to note is I own all of these assets. I own all the marketing. I don't have any marketing company that owns anything that they do for me, okay? Very important, because I find these lawyers who lock themselves up in these weird contracts or these weird relationships where the person owns your website or your person owns your Google Ads companies. Don't do that. It's a big mistake. Always make sure it's a requirement. You own every asset when it comes to your website, your funnel, your marketing, your ad accounts, all of that. Ask that up front. Make sure you own it yourself, because things happen and you always, in life, you always want to own equity. Wealth comes from equity. Make sure you own everything. So you make sure you own it. And number 5, again, I spent $5 million, and one of our law firms, we spent $2 million. So the math kind of works out that way, that most of your money kind of goes towards your top sources and top client sources. So what that means for lawyers is that you don't necessarily need to figure out 5 different sources for clients for you. Go make your top source, become successful. Scale that up. Spend as much money as you can. Automate it. Make sure that it's working to the max level, to the max budget before you move on to the second budget. I noticed a lot of people try to diversify their efforts too much, and they can't get a handle. They don't build the back-end systems to be able to set up all the automations and the follow-ups. Set that up first. Set up, make sure that it's, again, automated, and your budget is as big as it gets for you to, again, know that you're profitable. Once you see that your budget is maximized and automated, then that's a signal for you to go to your second and third client sources. Okay, so just to recap, always be mindful of what's considered a waste and what you're okay with spending money on. Second is understand that marketing makes you money in the big picture. So if you're not spending money on marketing, go for it. Number three is I usually like paid ads. I don't, I do some organic stuff, but most of my client generation comes from paid ads. So join a program that can teach you how to do that, which is exactly what Legal Funnel does. Number four is make sure you own your own assets, your own funnels, your websites, your paid ads accounts, all that stuff. And realize that most of your clients will come from your top paid ad source. So make sure that word is working for you. If you need somebody to be able to implement these things for you, again, this is exactly what we help lawyers with inside of Legal Funnel. There will be a link for you to be able to join our program and learn about how we can also help you scale up your law firm right below in the description. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead right now to subscribe. Like this video if you got value, which I know you did, and make sure to catch the next video tomorrow. All right, I'll see you later. Lawyer Nation, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, take a moment right now to subscribe right below and turn on the bell notification to get notified every time I post a video, because right now I'm posting 5 videos a week, providing lots of value to lawyers. So click right here to subscribe, and to watch the next most relevant video, click right here. Go do it, go watch it.